So he's kind of that reluctant hero, doesn't want the responsibility, kind of wants to do his own thing. I can relate to that. But sometimes you have no choice but to step up and fill those shoes because there is no one else, or because your life has changed permanently and there is no home to go back to. Um, so in this story, um, he kind of represents all of us. He kind of represents the reader. Although I think there are other characters that um, people identify with, or so I've been told. So Jocasta is really kind of, being the old guy that I am. I saw Star Wars when I was in third grade opening night, and it sealed my fate. But one thing, there's a lot of talk about, like strong women characters, and when I look back at the things that I read and watched, I don't see a lack of that. If you look at it, like certainly they haven't been treated fairly in all stories, but like if you look at Princess Leia, she's probably the smartest one of the bunch, and she says so right off the rip. Aren't you a little short? And oh, this is your plan, and she is not impressed with our so-called heroes, and she's integral to the success of the mission. So I didn't want Jocasta in the same way to be this damsel in distress kind of thing. I just think it's trite and tired, and it's not reflective of reality. Um, I couldn't make it through my life without my partner. You know what I mean? And it's like sometimes I do the heavy lifting, and sometimes she does. And like we were talking before the show, we all have different strengths and weaknesses, and that's where we dovetail and make the team. So, so I knew that I didn't want it to just be a guy hero story. And I knew I didn't want her to be the princess that needed to be rescued. She was already looking for her exit, and she was going anyway. And then this, I don't want to give too much away for the people who haven't read it, but it's accidental that they even bump into each other. And then it kind of goes from there. With Tiberius, the big baddie, he's little bits and pieces of all the big baddies that we all love. Um, and at the same time, I wanted to make him somewhat realistic. I didn't want him to be some type of demigod or whatever. I wanted him to be a very flawed, uh, human feeling character. You know what I mean? He's incredibly egotistic, and he's not nearly as smart as he thinks he is. and he's incredibly manipulative and self-serving. Um, and underneath that, he really is a danger, and he really is evil, because of his lack of care or compassion for anything or anyone else besides himself.
Hmm.
All right, Sophia, can you pull up the camera? Look at that right there. Now, again, guys, this is from book one, okay? And look how beautiful that is.
I love the colors and the art. It's so colorful.
I'm trying to get the glare. Oh, there you go. Isn't that? It's just it's amazing.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, I'm showing you guys book one because this is going to get you hooked. This is the candy, okay? Jason is the dealer. This is the candy. The Geek Layer is the white van. I'm showing you guys book one because I want you to get it. All right.
In the van,
Um,
everybody.
yeah, I'm gonna show you the covers of all three. Now look at this one right here.
Oh, oh.
So that big
Look
red
at
guy.
that.
So there's Jocasta, and the big red guy is Scrag, uh,
Okay.
and he's kind of been assigned as Jocasta's attendant. So they kind of, he's kind of enamored with her, not in a romantic sense, but he cares deeply about her and her safety, and
Aw.
he kind of
I
understands.
think of it as kind of um like Sophia and I, like Big Brother. She calls me. What's the matter?
Right,
What's wrong? My first thing.
right.
It's because I want to make sure she's
What's the
okay.
problem?
That
I'm going to handle it.
exactly. Exactly. That's the way it is. That's how I saw their relationship, and it's nothing else.
And Scrag,
Um,
it's kind of interesting because I'm such a geek. Like I still have a lot of my children's books, and one of the favorite stories was Ferdinand the Bull. Um, right, so it's like she sees him as Ferdinand the Bull. He's supposed to be this giant killer. He's an Oni in this thing, and they use him as like the big bruisers with their army, their foot soldiers. So he's not supposed to have a heart. He's just supposed to be, a killer. But he's not. It's just not who he is. So he's kind of the oddball with his species, and she kind of sees that in him. And I think there's a little bit of that he realizes that he's seen through her, and maybe that's what endears him to her so much.
Okay. All right. What was that comment, Sophia?
Guy asks, "Is that a monster print on your forehead?" I think he means on your beanie.
I think it's a bear paw.
Ooh,
Oh, we can call it a monster foot.
bear paw.
All right. We were gonna get to merch for the book in a second, because every one of your Kickstarters started off slow, boom, rocket it, boom, fund it. Your merch and stuff and all your tiers that you had for your Kickstarters were just off the hook and wild. Are you going to have real merch for this for sale at a con? Like action figures or stuff? I mean, that's what I want to see, man. Look at this.
So we have some box.
Oh.
This was offered, I think,
That's
on the second
badass.
Kickstarter.
Mm-hmm.
So these will be available this year, and let's see, what else do we have? We have the council worms. Can't say
Ooh,
about them, but whoops, gotta remember
that's
my
cool.
puppeteering skills. Everything's backwards on the camera. So see his little face.
That's awesome.
Um,
He goes this.
and
Ooh,
Lewis knows who those guys are. That's the council for Tiberius.
And that's what I was waiting for.
I'm
Look
hoping
at this.
I'm hoping to get my friend Og here
ooh,
digitally scanned so that we could offer him up, because this guy is huge and he's a beast. You can imagine trying to print this in, or cast this in resin would be huge and kind of cost prohibitive. Um, so hopefully we'll get him digitally scanned, and then this one's actually not finished, but we have one of the Zumari, which is one of the foot soldiers.
that's so cool.
So this one's coming soon too. And then this guy's not on his base yet, but Lewis, you'll recognize him, the Northman. Whoops.
It's
That's
just
awesome.
insane.
The
So,
detail.
and this kind of is a good place to segue into when I work with my artists, because I write it and I design them, but I don't draw the pages because I can't draw like my artists can. So I usually will provide them a maquette and say, this is what the character looks like and stuff like that. So it makes it easier. It's almost like what they do, what they used to do with Disney, with like Ken Menton and stuff like that, would do all the, the kind of,
It's like a mock-up type of a.
yeah. And then they have references to go to. So, Lewis,
Oh.
how about this?
Ooh.
There's your.
Well, I need
Oh,
one
it
sealed.
moves.
Jason, I need one sealed with a
Look at that,
mint
it's-
card.
It's
Okay.
movable.
That
Like I
is
said, being
incredible.
the old school geek, the 3 3/4 Star Wars scale.
I
That's so
need
awesome.
that clear bubble.
J-Bo, hello.
Yes, J-Bo.
That's so cool. It really
J-Bo
is.
says that is so cool.
Very cool.
And then, of course, we like our action figures with accessories, so he comes with his little staff.
That's amazing.
So to answer your question, yes, all of the things. We want to do all the things. Right now, because I'm doing it myself, and with my friends, it's, we have to do things that I can mold and cast myself, or starting to get into 3D prints and things like that. But, I mean, I would love someone, Four Horsemen. That would be a dream come true. Imagine MonsterWood figures with the Four Horsemen company. They make some of the nicest things out there, or NECA or somebody like that. So
Yeah, it's just crazy. Your past working for the studios. Have you ever thought about pitching Monsterwood as a series? I had to put you on the spot, brother. I'm
No,
sorry.
no,
This
no.
inquiring minds want to know, dude. I mean, the history
Put
between
me
us.
on the
I
spot
have to
with
ask you
topics
this.
I can talk about until I'm dead, Lewis.
I have to ask, man. I mean, we have other people on the show. You watch the show. You know, we had Pierre with Sunder. We had this could be an animated series, man.
Ooh.
I mean, we got Paramount, we got Netflix, we've got Amazon.
It could
We
definitely
have
be animated, but I'll do you one better. I'd like to see it live action, like
Ooh.
Thrones or Hellboy 2. Um,
oh
and I
yeah
don't want to do name dropping, but there's been some serious conversations, um,
okay
uh,
Interesting.
including a certain recently Academy Award winning director
Oh,
who
snap.
has a movie out right now that's everybody loves um, on Netflix. so and it's just been timing and funding. You know what I mean? It really is
yeah
like the stars have to align. I've had a few conversations, and the door seems to be cracked open. It's just getting that timing right. I have another person that I'm working with who's a good friend of mine who is a film funder. So he finds people who want to invest in projects like that. So it's actively being looked into. But at the same time, and I've even talked to people who, because of my experience and just contacts in the industry, I've had conversations with people that I would want to be those effect shops building the suits and things like that. Um, and it would just be unbelievable. I mean, I like I said, I want to name drop, and I it's just not cool.
no
You
it's
always
okay it's
feel
okay
cool
but
name
I
dropping, and then after you're like, oh, I shouldn't have said that. So
Yeah,
yeah,
when
no.
the ink when the bottom line is signed and the ink is dried within
Mhm.
5 minutes, Sophia and I expect you on this stream, bro.
all right.
That's
I give
all
you
I can say,
solemn
man.
swear it will be
We
revealed
want
on this show. Uh,
yes, we want first dibs 100%. That's what we
yeah,
want.
yeah.
Hello,
So
Kara.
so
We
I'm
want that.
hoping it goes that way eventually. But in the at the meantime,
Hello, Sakaro.
it really started when I had these characters before I had the story, and it started as a film script, and then we had conversations. At one point, I even had a house that was looking to package it and do pre-production for it. So I had a producer, like a line producer, that was in charge, and I would go to New York once a month, and we would have meetings, and it was like years and years, and it was too slow a process. Um, and then I decided that I wanted to move it forward. I wanted to bring the story to the world one way or the other, and I knew that I could take a graphic novel, and through a lot of hard work and tremendous support from the crowd, I could produce that myself. You can't produce a movie. Um, not by yourself and not without a lot of money. So that's where I want to continue is to tell this story in hopes that enough people discover it and fall in love with it. Um, that eventually the film does happen, or a television show. I think a television show would be even better because it gives you time to both develop the world and the characters and garner an audience. Whereas film
I
has changed. If you don't come out of the gate and do gangbusters and you drop off week 2, it's like you disappear.
yeah.
Um, Film is very difficult these years. Um,
Yeah.
so so who knows? Um,
I think a series would be better because you can. I mean, look what it did for
You
Sweet
hook
Tooth.
you hook people.
Mm.
Yeah, it gives them more to look forward to.
yeah, yeah, and you don't have to rush. I mean, can you imagine
True.
if they had made Lord of the Rings in one film like they originally wanted Peter Jackson to? It would have been a
Yeah,
disaster. Instead, it
yeah, it would have
became
been.
a classic. Um, so yeah. Man, you guys are getting me all excited now talking about that.
It's all right. Hey, it's 7:30. You know what that means? It's 7:30. You know what that means?
Dingleberry time! Dingleberry!
Quiz with Quinzel, brought to you by the Erica Legacy Foundation. That's right, Chris Mack. Hey, contact the Erica Legacy Foundation. It's for a good cause. I mean, we all need this. We all need to support this cause. So, Sophia,
All right, guys, I'm going to ask a question and you have to answer correctly. The question for today is, in Michael Bay's Transformers series, what kind of car is the Bumblebee?
Bumblebee is supposed to be a Volkswagen.